So, yeah, I'm back. So I am commentating this preseason race number 2, our final preseason race for Group 2. Later on, we're gonna have Group 3 later on today, but I have no clue who's gonna commentate that. But I'll find someone. Don't worry. Anyways, yeah, second preseason race for Group 2, and currently. Uh, Yeah, we have a mixed grid at the moment. A mix of Group 2 and Group 3 drivers. So, let's go and see who goes out first. From the time trial times that I've seen, uh, I'm expecting pole to be somewhere in the mid to high 120s. Or potentially a mid to low 20 maybe. Ultimately depends what everyone's pace is gonna be like, honestly. But yeah, one of our newer drivers here in Group 2, Fusible Orange, who joined from another league that I commentated yesterday actually. So hopefully making his debut here in LSR for the very first time. Hopefully to show off his pace and maybe show off that he's a he's a driver's uh championship contender this season. As you can see, Husky as well, who's made his return this season for a full-time drive this season actually. As last season, season 5, he was a full-time, but we had a couple incidents. But yeah, he's fully back now. Chimp Pimp as well has also returned. He is a Group 3 driver this season, which is the tier that I manage. So hopefully we'll see some good performances from him. Edgy, our Season 5 Group 3 champion, has moved up to Group 2. After his dominating performance, you could say, from him last season Group 2, not Group 2, Group 3, he's decided to move up to Group 2. So hopefully we'll see him perform. Anyways, gonna go with an onboard lap. A Fusible Orange, already missing out turn 1 and 2. Now going into these double right-handers where you have to get right. Braking and then just taking it flat out in 6th gear. 26.8 sector 1 for Fusible Orange. Now in sector 2, and probably the corner I struggled the most. Looks like using the throttle to rotate the car there into that corner. All flat out. Braking at the start of the curve, going down the 4th gear. Looks like he got a little bit, he got unsettled on entry there. Now for the infamous triple right-hander. Arsene has retired. Starting for the back. Still staying within track limits. Now going up to the final corner. So let's see what time Fusible Orange will set. See what our benchmark will be for today, and it's a 22.0 is the benchmark for everyone to a match. Jimbo, 23.2, so not a good lap from Jimbo. Husky, almost a second off from yeah, almost a second off Fusible Orange's lap. But Vacant setting a 22.4, so roughly 4 tenths away from Fusible Orange's lap. I know actually 3 tenths. So next across the line, Edgy's 21.1. So Edgy already showing some pace here with going probably over a second quicker. Yeah, nearly a second quicker actually. If he did get a 21-0, that would have been almost a second quicker, as there is a McLaren spun there in Sector 1, which I believe was Magnus. Sieber set to 22.5, and Chimpip 23.4, Speedy 23.4, Visensky 23.7. So mind, some of these drivers are in Group 3, so you never know. These times might potentially be Group 3 pole later on today, which might potentially be streamed. I have no clue. Now, following along with Purple Snack in the Ferrari. Looks like Edgy has run out of fuel there. Purple Snack going through Sector 2, approaching the triple right-hand corners here at Qatar, which what the circuit is most notable for. Now approaching the penultimate corner, and now approaching the final corner. Going down into fourth gear, getting back on throttle. Very safe exit there out of the final corner. Sets a 23.3. Puts himself P7 at the moment. So a Ferrari 6.7 there at the moment. It looks like Magnus is starting his laps, going right on board with Magnus. Going to turn 1 fifth gear. Going from sixth down to fifth for the rotation. Flat out all the way. And braking past the 50, going down to sixth gear. Take his next corners fly. Looks like there is a small lift there for Magnus, but set to a purple sector 1, 26.9. There's so a potential fast lap here from Magnus. So going down to fourth gear for that corner. Not abusing that curb on the left. Braking on the start of the curve there. Going down to fourth gear. Looks like there's a purple stack there stranded. Now Magnus approaching this triple right-hander. Staying in 8th gear all the way through. Going down to 7th. Now approaching the penultimate corner. A lift there for Magnus in the penultimate corner. Now the final corner, which is really crucial because you can invalidate there if you go a little bit too wide. Magnus already using all of his deploy, such a 22-0. So Magnus not close enough to Edgy, who has a 21-1. Rest of the field, Crustier T, 24-0. Looks like to be going on another push lap here at Qatar. I believe, yeah, no, he's not going for another push lap. Going right on board with Alexis, one of the Mercedes here, sets a purple sector too. So a potential fast lap here, nearly going out of track limits there. Barely staying within the track limits. Staying within the track limits in probably the most vulnerable sector where you can validate. A really good exit from Alexis coming to the line. Alexis 21-2. So Alexis really up there with Edgy. So two potential championship contenders here for Group 2 this season. Let's go and looks like Husky's on the lap actually. Looks like Husky was on a lap. This is his in lap. Let's go right on board with Jimbo. Ooh, look like he went off, but it didn't count it as an invalidation. Carrying that speed through there, that penultimate corner at Qatar. Now accelerating out of the final corner in 4th gear using the DRS and the ERS. Now coming to the line, sets a 22.8, puts himself P7 at the moment, ahead of Husky. Kendrick sets a 22.9. Australian looks like he's retired. Coach, Coach looks like he's invalidated his lap. It looked like to be he was on a relatively good lap there. Viprise and Kaz both still in the pit lane. As we are about to reach the actually we've already reached the halfway point through qualifying. Vacant actually looks like he's improved to 21.9, so only 3 drivers into the 21s here. So I may have overestimated our drivers here. Hopefully we will see some improvements. Kendricks, who looks like to be on a lap, now approaching the final corner. Let's see what time he's gonna do when he comes across the line. That's a 22.5, 3, nearly 4 tenths faster. So a really good time from Kendricks. 22.5, but still not enough for that top 5 starting position. Seabird in the other Red Bull, currently about to start his lap. Currently has a 22.521. So hopefully we'll see some improvements from Seabird here. Hopefully we'll see some improvements as Speedy Gunner in the McLaren, currently P12 at the moment, now approaching the triple right-hander. The triple apex right-handers taking flat, 2 tenths up in sector 2, invalidating his lap. So really unfortunate that he's invalidated his lap, but I don't think he has. Now it's counted. I have no clue why it didn't invalidate the first time, honestly. Now, following back with Seabird, 900ths of a second up in sector 2, 3 tenths up in sector 2, so that is a purple sector 2, 3 tenths up at least. So hopefully he's going to be able to carry this time throughout this final corner. On trial, a relatively safe exit from Seabird. Now about to come across the line, sets a 22.1. Not enough to beat his teammate Fusible Orange with a 22.0, but that gap is relatively closing relatively quickly. As Visensky looks like he's on an in-lap, I believe. I believe he is on an in-lap. Yep. Let's go and follow along with Chimpimp. So currently in sector 1, approaching the double right-hander, which is really crucial to get right, especially if you want to carry that speed going into turn 6, which in reality it looks like a hairpin, but in reality it's not. Currently looks like Viprise, look, he set a 21.5, so Mercedes 2-3. If Alexis can improve by a 10th and Viprise can maybe get it into the 21 zeros, then a potential Mercedes 1-2 front row lockout is on the table here at Qatar for the duo of Alexis and Viprise. Chimpip not pushing the limits. They're at the penultimate corner. of the Qatar International Circuit, of the Lusail International Circuit. Champion 23-0 improves by 3 tenths, puts himself P11 behind Husky, who's currently sitting P10. Let's go. Jimbo looks like he has invalidated his lap, and Viprise is on an in lap, but it's going right on board with the coach. 54.6 currently. Let's go ahead and see maybe what time the coach will set. Narrowly staying within the track limits in that final corner. Just barely managing to stay through. Set to 22.5. So nearly matching Kendrick's, but only misses out by 800ths of a second. So a potential championship battle here in season 6 for Kendricks and the coach. As there is a bit of a traffic jam there with one of the McLarens. Oh, wait, hold up. Speedy is cooking. My Group 3 teammate sets a purple Sector 1. So right on board with Speedy here cooking and goes wide. Actually does invalidate somehow. I don't know how, but right on board. A potential really good lap, maybe a 22. No, he's down now. Let's go ahead and keep following along with him through Sector 3. A minimal lift there. Now in the final corner. Let's go ahead and see what time Speedy will set. Not gonna improve from the looks of it. Actually, he does 23-0. So some really good pace from Speedy. 23-0. Really good stuff. Oh, looks like Kendrick's going on for another lap here. Right on board. Could follow along. Currently in Sector 1. Looks like he's losing a lot of time in Sector 1. 2 tenths down already. So he might have some damage maybe. Potentially, I have no clue. And going out wide still isn't still hasn't invalidated his lap quite yet, but hopefully we'll see an improvement maybe into the 22-0s. 3 tenths down, so I don't think he's gonna improve here. And goes wide there, so not. These track limits are now he's invalidated. And that is the end of qualifying. Edgy let's follow along with Edgy here. 300ths down on his current lap time. So a potential new fastest lap on the table here. No, half a tenth down on his lap at the moment. So still staying within the track limits. Magnus sets a 21.6. Now approaching the penultimate corner. Kendricks has been disqualified. Now Edgy coming across the line. What time will he set? Does not improve, but does end up improving his Sector 3. Oh, Alexis is up a tenth. So we might potentially see a Britishman in the Mercedes on pole position here at Qatar. What time will Alexis set? Now about to cross the line. 21.152. So misses out by half a tenth. And Viprise has retired. Vacant currently up. But looks like, yeah, he's already finished his qualifying. Oh, looks like the coach has managed to set a lap time at 21. Oh, actually, no. I lied. He still managed to keep the same lap time. But congratulations to Edgy on the preseason pole position in the AlphaTauri. So less than a tenth separating Edgy and Alexis. Let's go and see these sector times. Edgy setting 26.6 sector 1, 26.8 sector 2, and 27.5 sector 3. And then Alexis saying a 26.6. 26, yeah, it looks like Alexis is really losing out in sector 2. But besides that, Alexis is really matching Edgy. Besides in sector 2. So here's our starting grid. Edgy and Alexis locking out the front row. Vibers and Magnus second row. Vacant and Huskies. Oh, all Williams third row here at Qatar. And all Red Bull fifth row here at Qatar. So hopefully we'll see some improvements here. Now, as we are currently just waiting for everyone to ready up at the moment. Not really sure if and also formation lap was on is gonna be on to test it out for group 2. So we are now on the first formation lap of the season. So hopefully everyone's gonna keep it relatively clean. Let's go and see what tire compound everyone's on. So Edgy's on the mediums, Alexa and Vibers are on the hards, so potentially those two are planning to work together to drag themselves along with Edgy and to hopefully break away from the rest of the grid. Magnus is on medium, so let's hope he's gonna be able to take advantage and keep up with Alexis and Viperize and Edgy. Vacant and Husky as well, going for the double hard tires. Vasanski's on the softs, and Kendrick's on the soft, so we are really gonna have to see them make some really big moves early on into the race to hopefully see that soft tire risk pay off. See if anyone's brake dragging. No one's brake drag actually. As we are about to get lined up onto the grid for the Qatar Grand Prix. As looks like Edgy has been disqualified. Fusible Orange has also been disqualified. So potential lobby restart as Kendricks has also been disqualified, so never mind, I lied. As 5 red lights go, and we are lights out, and away we go. Edgy getting a really good start here. And Alexis already looking for the move up the inside. And Alexis, will he make the move up the inside? Yes, he will. Alexis already taking the lead of the Qatar Grand Prix. Now aggressively defending from Edgy here, wanting to regain the position, but close behind Vacant, already hunting down Edgy. So Edgy already being swallowed up by the pack. Looks like everyone's caught him lacking. As Edgy looks like he went a little bit too inside. As looks like Viprise and Husky have both been caught up in an incident there. Maybe a safety car or maybe VSC. But everyone keep it relatively clean. And it looks like Visensky making a very crucial move. As it looks like Chimpip has spun it in Sector 2. So that is our third driver to already make a mistake. Very enticing lap 1. But also we have to be wary of these track limits as well. You can't really just push all the way through. You have to be careful on your tires. And be careful on the fuel, as Seabird using his ERS already halfway down to make a move on Magnus up into P4. So good stuff from Seabird to put himself P4. Seabird looked like he spun it. He's had an incident with Magnus, who's also gone off, losing a lot of positions here. Fortunately, Magnus looks like he's only lost 2 positions here. So it is early on though, so he could really get a really good strategy and come back. But speaking of strategy, Kendricks, who started from extremely far back, yeah, up 12 positions, and Visensky's also up 5 positions. So those two who decided to gamble and start on the soft tires are really starting to take advantage of those soft tires already. But from the looks of it, looks like the top 3, Alexis, Vega, and Edgy, are already starting to run away. Those medium tires are already starting to burn off. To go off, I mean. Because those hard tires really do take a couple laps to warm up, but over time, those hard tires are overall better halfway through the stint compared to the mediums. So hopefully those two will be able to break away from Edgy. As currently Alexis is already building a gap to Vacant, who's currently sitting P2. So if Vacant can maybe work with Alexis, who's currently leading them potentially, those two can haul away from Edgy. But Edgy will, but Edgy's really gonna need to push if these two work together. They're really gonna have to put. He's really gonna have to push those medium tires to the limit if he wants to potentially keep up. As from the looks of it, Vacant's really gaining on, really building that gap to Edgy in Sector 3. So someone to look out for fastest lap, but I believe it's a 30.8. if I recall. DRS has already been enabled. Fusible Orange does not have the DRS, so nothing quite there yet. Looks like a three-way battle. Kendricks up into P5, and Magnus defending from Jimbo here in the Ferrari behind. So let's see if Jimbo can take advantage of those hard tires that are probably nearly done warming up by now. To overtake Magnus, as Husky's already got a 3-second time penalty due to track limits. So our first driver who's already being caught out by the track limits. So really unfortunate. Let's go down here to P11 for the battle for P11 and 10. Vibrise and our Stranding both going at it. Our head admin going at it with Vibrise, the Irish Mercedes driver, who is Alexis' teammate this season, who's currently leading. Speaking of Alexis, he's built up that gap to 1.2 seconds, so Alexis really having pace on those hard tires early on already. So really good stuff. And Kendrick set to 25.0 for the fastest lap, already up into P4. So you can tell already how those soft tires are really really effective at the start of the race. Looks like Speedy has also gotten a 3-second time penalty. So our second driver, who's already been affected by track limits and barely 3 laps in. It looks like behind Kendricks, looks like there's a battle brewing up between Fusible Orange and Magnus, who these two raced together yesterday in an SNRA, in which I did commentate yesterday. Fusible Orange using his ERS to defend, but Magnus did not get his front axle there, equal to Fusible's rear axle, so wasn't able to make the move there. Seabird, our third driver, getting a 3-second time penalty due to track limits. And our fourth driver being Fusible Orange. As it looks like Fusible Orange, Kendrick defending from Orange. Oh, there's some small amount of contact there between Orange and Kendricks. But Magnus and Orange going wheel to wheel and making it stick Magnus around the outside. Good move from Magnus. Speedy getting another 3-second time penalty due to track limits. And it looks like Edgy has taken the lead of the Qatar Grand Prix. And Speedy has retired, and that is a VSC. So that's really going to mess up everyone. Actually, no, it's really going to benefit Kendricks and Vicensky, actually. Just because those soft tires are probably starting to go off by now. Especially with Qatar being such a high degradation track. So, I don't think it's going to bunch up the field. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a safety car. But, looks like Eddie's taking advantage of the safety car and gambling to go 23 laps on those hard tires. Which I'd say is quite a risk, if I'm being honest. And it looks like Kansas got in a drive-through. Kendricks and Fusible Orange have also come into pits. Vicensky as well. So those two soft tire runners have all come in to put on the medium or the hard tires. Alexis still leading the race. Yeah, if Vacant and Alexis can both work together, then yeah, those two might be able to pull away from the rest of the field and just make it a battle for themselves. But Vacant will need to keep up. But Crucier T getting our sixth driver getting track limit penalties due to track limits. Magnus currently sitting in P3 on those 6-lap old medium tires, who did not opt to pit under that VSC. Because if that VSC did come later on in the lap, roughly when they were in the middle of the triple right-handers, then most likely Magnus would have probably pit, but from the looks of it, he decided to keep going. Viprise, who had a spin in Sector 1, and who had an incident with Husky, has now come back from last up into P4, battling with Ozan at the moment. So let's hopefully see if Vipers can catch back up, as Jimbo gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits. So a really common theme here, with already 5 drivers here already getting a 3-second, yeah, at least 3-second time penalties that are still racing. Little onboard from Viprise here. Currently in Sector 2. As it looks like Purple Snack, Seabird, and Armstrong are both battling for position. Viprise getting a 3-second time penalty for track limits. But it looks like we have a 3-way battle here for P6, 7, and 8. Let's go ahead and right on board with Seabird following along. Following with our Stratting, who's currently sitting P6. Stratting going a little bit wide there. Approaching the final corner. Keeping the revs up. Seabird keeping those revs up, but losing out on the straight. Most likely hinting our Stratting using a lower downforce setup here. But yeah, hopefully Seabird will hopefully jostle for position with Stratting, but Purple Stack slowly starting to not be in the picture of this original 3-way battle. Now it's only a battle for P6 and 7. Going lower down the field. Kendricks and Fusible Orange, both in P11 and 12. Actually, it looks like Crustier T has lost it. Exiting the double right-hander, where you have to get it right, where you really have to lift to keep the stability of the car. If not, you will lose the rear, just like Crustier T did just now. Chimpim getting a 3-second time penalty. So that is 3, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drivers in total who have 3-second time penalties. I'm counting Speedy as 8, but he did retire early on, so. But going back up the field, looks like Seabird looking for the move on our Stratting. Seabird nearly making the move stick, but our Stratting shutting the door there. So really good defending from our Stratting. But now we have Ozan and Viprise battling here for P4 and 5. Mind, Viprise does have a 3-second time penalty due to track limits. So, yeah, potential, yeah. Magnus still attempting to close that gap, which he actually is. Yeah, he's relatively beginning to close that gap, but is really losing in Sector 3. Well, Vacant losing time to Alexis, our straining, our ninth driver to get 3-second time penalties. So that is officially nearly half the grid with time penalties. Vacant approaching turn 1, now going through it, trying to hopefully gain that time back as good following with Edgy, currently fighting in the DRS with Purple Snack, currently setting P8 and 9. Our pole sitter, currently P8, who started on the mediums, now on the hards. He's definitely gonna need to nurse those home, because if not, Husky, who experimented with those hard tires pre-race, it was worth pitting that early. Because mine, Alexis and Vacant will both have the stronger tire near the end. So really opting for the long term, yeah, the long term strategy. Apologies for that. It looks like Edgy is now beginning to catch up to this four-way fight that may begin to ensue. And it looks like Ozan dives into the pit lane. So let's see what strategy Ozan opts for. Yeah, he's gonna have to, as Ozan gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So that's really gonna affect his race already. So he will lose a lot more positions than he ideally thought. But now we have a three-way battle for P5, 6, and 7. With our pole setter, Edgy, at the end of this small train here. But looks like Seabird having a lot more pace. Though he has little to no DRs. Oh, as Seabird gets hit from behind from Edgy. So Edgy getting a little too trigger happy on throttle and accidentally making contact with Seabird. Now the real question is, when will Edgy make the overtake on our Stranding, or will he just shove him out of the way? Let's go to follow along. Edgy having to put a little bit of braking input there just not to hit, so he won't hit our Stranding. Looking for the move on the front straight. He's gonna make the move, turning on the ERS and the DRS. And Crusher T has retired. Is that a safety car? And Eddie just manages to make the move right before the safety car comes out. So pretty much that really throws off everyone. Those who opted for the hard tires, that really throws them off. Really throws them off here. Looks like Visensky, Chimpimp, Ozan have all decided to pit again. Kaz and the coach as well have all decided to pit again. So Visensky fixing some front wing damage there. So Purple Snack on the soft tires. I highly doubt those are gonna last till the end of the race. So hopefully he's gonna be able to nurse them home. And it looks like Alexis, yeah, Alexis, Vacant, Magnus, Vibrates, Edgy, and our strength all decided to pit. Edgy looks like wanting to go back onto the medium tires. Magnus going onto the softs. So quite a risk there. He's really gonna have to nurse those back for roughly 13, another 16 laps or so. Or actually 13 laps actually. So everyone opting to pit. But Purple Stack really is gonna gain a lot here if he does end up catching everyone. No, only gains roughly 2 positions. So first safety car here of the Qatar Grand Prix here in the LSR Group 2 preseason race 2. And Magnus wanting to just speed off into the distance here from what it looks like, opting to go onto those soft tires. As everyone are having fresh tires, so hopefully they'll be able to make them last till the end. Because ideally at this point, there's really no point putting on those hard tires. So I believe at the end of this lap, we will go green, I believe. I'll be back. As now I am back, safety car will be in this lap. Now Alexis will be the one controlling the field. Let's see how early or late he will go. As now Alexis has decided to go. We're back to green flag racing here. Now already, Edgy already overtaking our straightening here for P5 already off the restart. Oh, the green flag restart. Magnus already wanting to make the move on vacant, but not successful there. Vacant very well defended there from Magnus's attack, but close behind Vipra is there. So if those mediums warm up and Vipers can overtake Magnus and Vacant, so a potential Mercedes 1-2 there. So Vacant really holding up Magnus there for Viprise. Ozan gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Let's go ahead and see what Alec is already building that gap already actually 1.1 seconds. As the coach has been spun from what it looks like by Kaz. Oh, Vacant Magnus, big incident. Edgy's taken out as well. Another safety car. So another safety car. So potentially, those who went onto the soft tires might potentially get a break. Ooh, Lex is a little scared there. Nearly crashing into the safety car. So a big incident there off off the lap. Now we already had our last safety car on, so our second safety car here at the Lucille International Circus are starting making an illegal overtake there. So currently it is a Mercedes 1-2. So that is Edgy out of the equation. So that is Edgy out of the equation. So a potential Mercedes 1-2 for Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. So we will have another 3 laps under safety car. So our poster Edgy has now been taken out of the race. Magnus has also been taken out of the race. Looks like Purple Snack and Seabird. Actually, Purple Snack and Ozan have. No, yeah, Purple Snack and Seabird have all decided to pit. Seabird looks like he's gone onto the soft tires, so potential last to first maybe. Because Seabird's on the, yeah, one of the two drivers who have the freshest tires. So potential potential last to first here for Seabird. Safety cars in this lap, but right before we look at that, let's go and see the penalties really quick. Vibrites are shredding, Fusible Orange, Jimbo, Chimpimp, Husky, Oz Ozan, and Seabird all have penalties. Excuse me. As Alexis still deciding when to go here. And he has gone. Really catching everyone by surprise already. All shredding, Fusible Orange, Jimbo, Kendrick's already making some moves here. Canada's already up 2 positions. Someone going a little bit wider in the background. Our shredding already up into P3. So if Alexis and Vipers can work together, then this would be really good. Really good for the Mercedes. So already showing off their pace already. And we're making some moves. Actually, Husky defending from Seabird already up into P9 already. So Seabird already trying to make some moves. Already from P14, already potentially up into P8 maybe. And everyone's already starting to separate into their little groups. Ozan is at the end of this top 10 train, but Championship Coach, Purple Snack, and Cat is all already beginning to start their own little train. Viper is 24.518 with the fastest lap. And Seabird is still not getting that fastest lap. But Viper already has that gap built to our train, so 1.1 seconds separating Vipers and are straightening. So a potential Mercedes 1-2 if these two can keep it clean for the rest of these 9 laps. Little onboard from Alexis here. And looks like Alexis is starting to build that gap to his teammate Viperize. So already just trying to take the win from him for himself from what it looks like. But that gap already being built between Viperize and our shredding, that is being reinforced. Gaining 3/10 in Sector 2. It's really good stuff, but it looks like Fusible Orange is really close behind, not even a 10th, separating these two drivers for the final podium position. But Viper will need to build that 3-second gap to minimize that time, that penalty affecting his race time. DRS has now been enabled, so he's going to be able to build that gap even more. As Fusible Orange defending, looks like he went down the inside, and Arshani wanting to come back, but did not, wasn't successful. Yeah, if Jimbo can catch up and drag Kendricks and Seabird along, then a potential 5-way battle for the final podium position. And while those 5 battle it out, these two will be able to run away with the top 2 positions. Actually, now it's starting to become a four-way fight as our strength is now 1.1 seconds away from Fusible Orange, but Orange is now actually caught up to Viprise, so these two might be able to catch up. So Orange might be able to challenge Alexis and Viprise and knock down their 1-2. Orange not going to use his DRS quite yet, but gaining a lot of time on the straights here. And Orange setting a purple 24.3110. So Orange really on pace, fastest man on track at the moment. So Viprise really is going to need Alexis's help here to really just drag him along and away from Fusible Orange here. But I don't think that those penalties will affect them that much, as Orange also has 3 seconds. Now going back, now it's a four-way fight for P4, 5, 6, and 7 here. In these final 7 laps of the Qatar Grand Prix. Orange Trading getting a 6-second time penalty now. 6 seconds in total. Going off again. So Jimbo really looking for that move on Kendricks. And really are already trying to break away from Husky. Down in P8 as looks like Fusible Orange making a move on Viprise. Going up into P2, separating the Mercedes. And Kendrick's already up into P4. So really good stuff from Kendricks using the DRS. But Kendricks' fuel light is on, so potentially might not even make it. Might need to lift and coast a bit in these final closing laps. Now going down to Jimbo and Seabird. These two fighting. And these two fight, Husky might be able to catch up on those 10-lap old hard tires. Fusible Orange getting a 3-second time penalty. So at this point, it's really who finishes on top, really. Between these two. And who can build that gap up. Now Jimbo still following closely. Still following our stranding relatively closely. As Viper is getting a really unnecessary 3-second time penalty. So at this point, this Orange might be able to just take P2 and separate them. But he will need to build that gap to Kendricks there. As Seabird wanting to make the move, as Jimbo has run out of ERS and is currently flashing. But the DR is still keeping him in position, but Seabird making the move up the inside and around the outside. So a lovely move by Seabird. But Seabird now challenging Kendricks. So maybe potential overtake somewhere in sector 2, or maybe just wait till the front straight here for the moves. Looks like Jimbo went a little bit deep there, nearly making contact with Seabird in that Red Bull on those 6-lap old soft tires. So potential four-way fight. Actually, it is a four-way fight, actually. Seabird gets a 3-second time penalty. So as long as Kendrick can keep it within the track limits, then potential P3, potential podium. And our training gets another 3-second time penalty. So that's 9 seconds in total for our training. As Seabird loses it, hits the wall. That is a safety car who will coming to the softs. Viprise will, Orange will make it. Straining will. Pretty much everyone outside the top 3 will be able to go on to the soft tires. Everyone outside of the top 3. So everyone from the top, from our shredding down, is on the soft tires. So a really bad timing for Alexis, Vipers, and Infusible Orange for them to not be on these soft tires. So final 4 laps that Alexis and Vipers are gonna have to hang on. Well, actually, technically we'll only have like 1 lap of racing. Two laps of racing or so. Yeah, 2 laps of racing. So really, they're only gonna have to hang on, hold everyone off by roughly 3 laps. Which, if they want to do that, they're all 3 of them are gonna have to work together just to hold everyone off. As because we are currently just waiting for Ozan, who will probably catch up in Sector 2, to be fair. So looks like we will get racing at the end of this lap now that everyone's caught up. But quite an incident there for the prior safety car, especially with Edgy Magnus. So don't worry, Megan, I saw that. Anyways, say we are gonna go racing at the end of this lap, hopefully. Yep, safety car's in this lap, so we will have 2 laps of racing. Lap 27, 28, and 29. Well, actually, no, 3 laps of racing. I lied. I'm stupid. Anyways, when will Alexis go? This top 3 is gonna will really have to hold off everyone. Really, or it's gonna be quite a big job to hold everyone from P4 down to P13 and hold them off for these final 3 laps of racing. As Alexis has decided to go on the exit of the final corner, already dumping all of his ERS, and Viper is already making the overtake, going wheel to wheel into turn 1. You can see this POV from Fusible Orange. Viper is already making the move, and our shredding already getting past Fusible Orange, so a potential win here for our shredding, especially on those soft tires that everyone's pretty much from P4 down has elected to put on. So hopefully we'll see some good battles here. As Arshing hits the back of Alexis, goes a little bit deep there into the corner. So there might be some potential damage there on our Shredding's car. Kendrick's up into P4. And Kendrick looks like he wanted to send up the inside of our Shredding, but not a successful move quite yet. As our Shredding goes a bit wide there, so at the moment, Alexis will be taking the win here. Kendrick sending it up the inside. Quite an audacious move, but doesn't even leave him any space. Shuts the door almost immediately. Ozan sending the fastest lap of 24.3. Kendrick's nearly hitting the back of from what it looked like our straightening, but I have no clue. Our straightening gate now has 12 seconds, so that might put him down in last place potentially. Kendrick's really close behind, so Kendrick's currently on the podium positions. Will Jimbo be able to get past our straightening for a potential podium position as Purple Set gets a 3-second time penalty? So there are only 2 drivers who have not gotten 3-second time penalties, which are Alexis and Kendrick. So really tight battles heading on to the final 2 laps of racing here. And looks like Feasible Orange has also spun, going from P3 down to P12. Really tight battles here. Kendrick's in it for a potential win here if he's able to split up the 2 Mercedes who have a way less ERS compared to those 2. It's going right on board with Kendrick has literally swamping Alexis' rear with no ERS. Kendrick's getting past Viprise. Oh, Kendrick's setting Viprise off, and Alexis is out of the race, who was leading every single lap up until now. Viprise, now the sole driver, the sole Mercedes. How will he handle this final lap? At the moment, he will take the win. There's a good chance that he takes the win, but I'm honestly no clue. What incident was that? Kendrick is down to P7 from what it looked like. Kendrick was trying to wiggle through Alexis and Viprise, but he accidentally hit Alexis and sent him off. Husky getting 3-second time penalty on the final lap as Viprise now goes through the penultimate corner, now approaching the final corner. Mercedes have shown off their pace today. It would have been a double Mercedes podium, but unfortunate circumstances has ended it, and Viprise wins the Qatar Grand Prix for Mercedes. No, Jimbo wins the Qatar Grand Prix. Jimbo, out of everyone here, Vicente getting a surprise podium. As Jimbo is our winner here. What is a very surprising race. Odin still taking the fastest lap. Incredible race, honestly. Someone who started all the way down from P10, going up back into P1. Incredible. Anyways, that is it for me. Potential commentary later on today, but that's it for me.